In this video tutorial I'll be using MarvelousDesigner2 beta version. This video will get you up and running quick. This is a quick start video tutorial. I'll be going over some very basic steps to get you up and running. And before I get started, I'll be going over a few little term words I'll be using so you can be familiar with it. This window on the left here, where this cloth is at, is called the cloth window. You can hide and show the cloth with this icon here. Now we also have this character here, is known as the avatar. You can hide and show the avatar here. So you might hear me say avatar, you might hear me say character. Now the window over on the right here, as you can see, we got the shadow of the avatar over here. This is known as the pattern window. If you need to move the pattern window around, you just hold the middle mouse wheel down and keep it held down, and you can pan it anywhere you want, like this. Now you can take the same middle mouse wheel, which is a scroll wheel, and roll it in and out to zoom it in and out. Alright, let's get started. We're going to go to File and New. And we're going to start with a pattern over here in the pattern window. Now we got a set of icons over here. They kind of resemble the same three that are over here. These are different. Another thing is, if I select something, my cursor turns into that icon. If I select here, my cursor turns into that icon. So it lets you know what you're selecting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click a pattern, and I'm going to start here, here, under the armpit, so we can kind of make a hole for the arm to go through, and we'll select something right about right here. And I'm going to go to the right side and kind of mimic the left side, make it kind of similar. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll select here and here. Now I'm getting ready to close this off on this last click, and the first start point and end point should be overlapping, and you bring your cursor over and click one time. And when I click it and I get some dots around it and a square box, this will indicate that it has closed and it's working right. I clicked, and there's a square box with some dots around it. Now this time I can copy this pattern and paste it, but if I need to edit anything right now, I need to do it right now. So if I was to select this icon here, it's called Edit Pattern, then we can move some of the pattern around if we want to. Then we can get ready to copy and paste. Now this pattern that's on the shadow right here, on the shadow character, I always make this pattern my front pattern. So it's active, so I can Control C and Control V. And when I move the one over to the right, this is using my back or my rear pattern. Alright, we can name these. If I select this one and say the front here, as you can see, it says Pattern 2D. And if we go down into some of this basic info, there's a name here. Let's name this F shirt. F for front. And we'll select this one here. Now if we don't see the name, we can right click and show pattern name. And we're going to take this pattern here, we're going to rename this one here B for back, back shirt. Alright, this keeps everything a little bit tidy and a little bit neater. And we can go ahead and hide that, right click, and remove the pattern name. And the next step, we're going to go ahead and we want to see it on this character because we're going to be sewing some seams together. To activate that, we're going to use this icon here. It's called Synchronize. At any time you can save these right now, these patterns, and if you think you're going to make a mistake, and load it later. But we're going to go ahead and press Synchronize right now. And these patterns are laid out on the right here the same way on the left. Okay. Then we're going to activate the show arrangement points, and we're going to need to click one of these mesh right here, and we're going to click one of these pink points here, arrangement points, and it's going to put it right to it. So I can go ahead and activate this front one here, which would be this one here, and just click a pink point there. for some reason that the mesh on the character is coming through here, and you can see part of the skin coming through this mesh, you need to remove it because it won't work right. So if you need to edit it, you can bring it down. And what I mean by poking through, if you see something like this, I'll give you a little demonstration. If you get something like that, good chance it's not going to work right. Go to front. So we're going to select here, and we're going to select one of these pink points and move it around. Sometimes that gets in the way, so you have to select here and want to select up here. That looks good there. We go to the back, select here, and we'll bring it down here. Now that we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and hide the arrangement points. I'm going to hold the Alt key and the right mouse, and I'm going to tip it around like this. Now over here, we're going to go back over to the pattern window, and what we're going to do is we're going to sew some segments together, and we need to know what seams that we're going to connect. Now I want the front and the back connect, so I'm just going to click this one here. You can see it highlight red on that one here, and I'll select this back one, and it selects that one back here. Just right click and show the name so we can see what's going on. Even though that you move this around, it's not going to mess with that right now. So we can just bring it right back there. So I know that I want to connect this one over to that one. So what we'll do is we'll select this option called segment sewing, and we'll select here, and we'll bring it over here. Now I'm going to zoom way in. Now you can see these lines, they're crossed. All you got to do is move your cursor and they will uncross. Just move it down and click, and you can see it update over here. And the wrong way to do that would be Control Z that. We'll turn that back on, or it is already on. Is to switch it over like that, and you can see them crossed here. Now sometimes you'll be going and you will notice later on that they're crossed, and you didn't know right off the bat that they were crossed. So you're wondering, how can I go back and remove that? What you do is go back and use Edit Seam, and you need to select the seam, and it'll get real highlighted like that. Press the Delete key, and we're going to sew it back with the segment sewing. Another indication that it's working great here is if you look at these, it's got this little line that goes through it. The one on the left and one on the right, they are basically at the down position. Alright, now I'm going to come up here, and we're going to sew this one here to that one there. We're going to switch this one over here. We're going to sew this one, that one there, and this one, that one there. Then what we're going to do, we're going to use a simulate button right here. Give it a few seconds, and we're going to get something like this. Now that we're done, we don't want to see all the stitching over here, so we can use this show seams and hide seams, and we can do something like that. Alright, now with the simulate button still active and the synchronize, what I do with this, when I edit something over here, we'll go to this little option here, and we're going to pull down like this, and it's going to update over there, and we'll do the same for the back. Let's bring that down a little bit further. You can also do the segment and pull this way down like this. Now this right here, This is what makes the wrinkles and makes it more realistic. When you got the synchronize on and you got the simulate on, and when you pull down and start moving things around, this is a ticket that makes everything look good. Now if I was to turn simulate off, it would move, but it wouldn't simulate. So you can see it move there and just move. We need to have the simulate button on. That's what makes it more realistic. Okay, I paused the video, took me a little break here, and we'll go to the next step. Now we got this rectangle here. If you select the icon and click, you get an option to put in the dimensions. If I was to click, it would put a dimension like that. But we don't want to do that. We want to go ahead and drag a dimension, which you can just select, click, and drag like this, and you can make your dimensions like that. We're going to right click and just remove the pattern names for now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a point. So let's say we're going to add a point here and one on the other side. I'll bring one not close to each one there. And we'll bring this crotch area up just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and edit these around. We're going to go ahead and Control C, Control V, and bring that over here. We're going to turn the synchronize back on so we can see. Select here, and we're going to drag this way. As soon as it reaches through the mesh, then I'm going to stop right there. Right click, go to the back. Select this one. We'll align it to the front one, kind of. And drag to the back. Now we just want to bring it back just a little bit and probably bring this one up just a little higher. Because what will happen if this is too far back over here, and as soon as if it's way back and it tries to simulate it, the slower it comes this way, the more it starts dragging to the ground, and her little panties might fall off. We don't want that in this video. So we need to put some seams on here so make sure they stick together, and I'm kind of curious which seam goes where, so again we can just click a seam and see which one goes to where. So it looks like this one is going to go to that one. Okay, we got that one there figured out, and this one here should go to that other side. And the reason why you don't see the seams here is because I got them on and off, so, or had it off. Now I need to take I'm going to have to zoom way in here. This is going to have to go between the legs. I need this one here. Let's see. That's going to be the front one, and I need to go to the other one back here. Okay, these two go together. Alright, we'll seam these up. And same way with this one. And we're going to simulate it. Ooh. Well, guess what? She needs her pants back up. And I intentionally did that on purpose so you can see how to fix this. Alright, what we're going to do is I'm going to activate this rearrange right here. And what we're going to do is we need to bring our pants back up, and we're going to have to edit these here a little bit tighter and up a little bit harder. So you can also bring this one over here if you want to, just to kind of see how that lines up, which is a good little tip, and just bring it back over like that. and probably this one's going to have to come up a little bit, and also the back one's going to need to be coming up a little bit. Now we're going to simulate it. Alright, this looks a whole lot better. And just about done with this video, and I'm just going to do a couple more edits and we're going to call it quits. And we're going to drag this down a little bit here in the front. On our collar. I'm going to drag it a little bit more. You can see once I used that tool, I switched over to this other tool with the edit pattern, and let's do one for here, one for here, and make sure that you save your work as you're going along, so it's be easy to make any mistakes. And if I wanted to, I will go ahead and turn this shirt into a skirt. Bring this one down here. Now it's going to take a little bit of time because my screen recording going on in this application, things are going to get a little bit slow, and I'm going to let it catch up a little bit before I edit anything. I'm going to let it figure things out. I'm going to select here, I'm going to hold the shift key, and it's going to follow this guideline out like this. I'm going to do the same way with this, hold the shift key, follow the guideline out like this. Need to pull that skirt apart a little bit. Shift key, bring it out like this. I'm going to bring this pattern over just a little bit. You can see why it's in simulating and the synchronize on how I'm getting this kind of realistic look in the cloth, how it's folding up. But anyway, next step is we're going to go ahead and add some texture to this, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. Before I go into texture, let me just do one more little thing right here. Let's go ahead and right click and go to the back here. And we're going to give her just a little bit of a cape on the back of her shirt here. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and design a little fake cape here. So we'll select here, and we'll probably make it about right here. And let's bring that about right. Okay, then we're going to move that over, and this is going to be connected to this right here. So let's go ahead and bring this little point up a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and activate the synchronize. We're going to bring this over. This is going to be the back of our shirt. We're going to drag this direction. As soon as it goes through, we're going to stop. And we're going to go ahead and use the segment sewing, and we're going to select here and here. As you can see, sometimes it looks alright here that it's sewed right, and then sometimes it's crisscrossed over here. So we'll select here, right click, flip horizontally, and we're going to go ahead and simulate that. See that I'm going to go ahead and edit this one here just one time before I go on to the next step. And I'll do that by moving some points here. And we can kind of give her a little cape like that. Alright, for texturing, if you want to delete this one here, and you don't like the cape, you can just delete it here, or you can delete it by selecting over here. We're just going to turn the simulate off for a second, and we're going to click here, and we're going to just delete it if you don't want it. And sometimes you'll delete something and it won't, and it'll still be there. Sometimes you might have to turn the synchronize on and off to see the update. That said, I do have on the bottom of my window, I have a folder that's been open, and it's this folder here. And usually when I had it full screen like this, so we'll need to resize that to something like this. And we're going to add a pattern. You can add patterns over here, or you can add them over on this right here. Let's take a look at this pattern here. I like that pattern there. And what you do is when you come over here, there's going to be an option to edit the texture. Now there's going to be where you hold the E key. This is going to let you scale it, and as soon as you let go, you'll see it update over here. Well, that looks good there. She looks pretty. And let's go ahead and bring this over on this one here. Now you can hold the R key and to rotate it. Let's zoom this in a little bit so you can see it right there. R key rotates it, and press the E key if you want to scale it. Anyway, I think this should get you up and running, and thank you very much.